So I have my friends here, Pat and Barbara. They are vegan and they've been vegan for a long time. And I wanted to ask them, how long have you been vegan? You know, what made you change your diet to become vegan? And how can we encourage more vegans to give up meat and dairy?
Well, we started a long time, but it was a slow process. We started when I met Barbara, and when we first met, this is many years ago, I was not eating beef, and she was not eating pork. And I'm the cook in the family, and that became a pain in the butt to have to cook a special meal for her and a special meal for me. So we decided to just quit pork and beef. And then we stayed on chicken and fish and the rest. But then we saw Food Inc. and What the Health and a few of those documentaries, and we saw what was going on with our food that we were eating, and we decided we're not going to participate in something that is, first of all, that cruel to these animals, and secondly, for animals that were being put in as though they were fresh animals and everything when they had been put in a big, like the chickens. I mean, they had broken legs and they were just a mess. And then they're cutting them up and making them look like they were fine and everything was cool. So anyway, we put all that together, and we decided to quit eating chicken. And then fish, we loved. We loved them all, but we really loved fish. And we decided we would just eat fish. But after watching a documentary by UCSD, UCSD, I think it was, they sent a ship out to go inspect and look at the garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean. And they really did a good job. They showed them doing it, and it was amazing because a lot of plastics are huge. There's just like you can walk across them. But in a lot of areas, it's because of the sun and the beating of the waves and everything, the plastics have been beaten down into small particles. And this is actually pretty dangerous, especially for the fish and for the birds and for us humans who might be eating them, because then you're getting those plastic particles in your system. So we decided, and then on top of that, Fukushima happened, that's where the Japanese had that big nuclear reactor that went out and leaked all that nuclear waste into the ocean. I believe it was billions, for sure millions of barrels of nuclear waste. And that we were told by our government that this will never get to us. Well, of course it did. And it got, they found traces of this nuclear radiation in fish up around Oregon and north of Oregon, and also even in Northern California, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't down here in San Diego. We just haven't been let know that that's the way it is. We haven't been informed of this problem, and which I doubt they'll do voluntarily. But anyway, so that's pretty much where we quit eating fish. So now it was either go vegan or don't eat. So, and I'm a gardener. I've got 2 gardens and I grow a lot of food. And we found this grocery store called OB Peoples. That's Ocean Beach Peoples. It's strictly local farmers. It's a co-op. And you join it when you're buying food there. You don't have to join it, but you get a 10% discount if you do. And you're getting all local, grown, organic veggies. So we go there pretty much for most of our foods. Now we go to Lazy Acres for a few other. I'm not trying to get people business, but these are the 2 best places I've found in my area of San Diego. I know there's probably good ones up in Del Mar and places up north. So there's other places, but these are the 2 I know of. And so now we are vegan. We've been vegan, like I said, started back in the 80s, but now we quit eating everything. Oh, and then we were still eating cheese and eggs, and we quit that about 4 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 years ago, we quit them. So now it's no eggs, no cheese, no meat, no dairy, none of that stuff. No fish, no chickens, nothing.
What convinced you to give up eggs?
Just the way they treat, what they do with the chickens. Chickens are not supposed to deliver eggs all year round. That's not a natural way for them. I can't remember, what did they say about it?
Yeah, chicken, yeah, they have to heal or rest or something, just like women who have babies, they're not pregnant all year round. You know, something.
Not to mention the amount of cholesterol. It's over 200 milligrams of cholesterol in one egg.
Yeah, but we weren't really a lot of eggs eating people, you know, like some people eat 3, 4 eggs. It was never like that with us.
Yeah.
And you know, eggs are gross. It's the stuff that you put on them that makes it taste good. It's the soy sauce and the hot sauce. And
We miss the egg. I miss the eggs. I don't know if she does or not. I
I
miss
just
them, but
I miss the simplicity of the eggs.
well, and the cooking,
Effortless to
when you
cook
bake,
together.
when you bake certain things, eggs make it stick together better, and there's no replacement. They've got,
well, it depends. Like to make something like stick better, I use a chia. They call it a chia egg. Have you tried that? So you take 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, whole chia seeds, and then you mix that with 3 tablespoons of water, and then it forms a gel. And so I'll add that to recipes where they ask for eggs.
Oh, sweet.
oh, try it.
Yeah. And then for like a scrambled egg, I'll do tofu. Some people like the soft, but I like the firm. To me, the firm just resembles, you know, because when you cook egg, it becomes firm. So I just use that instead, and I drain out all the water.
We do the tofu scramble.
Right.
With tofu, and I think we use
Yeah,
the soft though.
Yeah, we prefer the soft.
I like the soft better, and then when you crumble it up, I like to crumble it all the way up, these little parts, and it comes out really good.
Right.
I put the tofu scramble, I make a vegetarian burrito with beans, rice, tofu scramble, and some other items in there. I'm not thinking.
Yeah, and
Tomatoes.
since we've been vegan almost 5 years now, I really don't miss any of those things. I remember eating it. I liked everything that I ate, but it's not like I crave it. I don't crave it.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's just, there's so many substitutes out there. And I think that if people just realize it's not about like giving up the things you like, it's like you can still enjoy food. It's just the food's going to be different. And people just need to understand you're not going to give up things that you love still. I mean, who doesn't love like fruit smoothies and, you know, sweet potato fries, stuff like that.
You just change your recipes. You know, you use recipes that will work for you, and if you have to have something that resembles meat, you know, there's ways of. I just the other day I bought some meatloaf from OB Peoples. Of course, it wasn't meatloaf because everything was vegan up there, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I could see where they put a little too much ketchup in it, but other than that, it was pretty good actually. And they have, by the way, I don't know if this is who this is going to, but if you go to OB Peoples, they have a really good recipe book, which gives recipes for all the different gravies and the different tofu scramble and all the different things that they bake and cook at the store. So you
I stopped consuming oils because I learned about how it's really detrimental to your health and your endothelial cells. And, you know, being a diabetic, my blood vessels I have to be really careful of, because, you know, the blood sugar damages the blood vessels, and so does the preservatives in my insulin. So I have to be very careful. And the fats make it harder for diabetics to control blood sugar, which is interesting as well. So I stopped consuming oils, and it's unfortunate. Just so many products can have oils in it, so that those are out for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel since you've been vegan?
How do I substitute oil?
No.
How do you
How
feel?
do you feel physically? How compared to?
Oh, so much better. My circulation's so much better. I lost the extra body fat I was holding on to.
You never,
Yeah.
you never had any body fat that I could ever tell.
Oh, thank
So
you.
yeah, we've quit everything and we're you know, I'm playing tennis 3 times a week. I'm playing with guys that are half my age because I can't find anybody at 75 that still plays.
You're
So
75 now?
they're out there, but they don't move very well.
You're 75 now?
Huh?
You're
75,
75.
yeah,
Wow.
October 19th.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and I'm still playing tennis with these guys that are so much younger because I can't find people my age that really play. Even the ones that play don't play. They don't move around very well. And I've talked to a number of them and telling them about the vegan diet because when I first went on it, I did have a little high blood pressure and high cholesterol. But once I went on the eating the vegan diet, that's all gone away. In fact, my doctor, she thought I went to another doctor and got statins and stuff because I was healed. She says, I don't know how you did this. And I had told her, when she told me that she wanted to get me on statins, I told her, I said, tell you what, in 6 months, I'll be back and we'll see how it looks. And so I just went vegan totally. And Barbara and I really, we quit drinking. We quit doing all the wrong things,
Right.
knocked the sugar out almost completely. And now I don't have any of those symptoms at all, any of those problems at all with the cholesterol or the high blood pressure. I get high,
Yeah.
I'm real nervous and stressed or something. You get a little high blood pressure, but not much.
Yeah. When I was in my late 30s, they wanted to put me on cholesterol lowering medication when I was in my 30s. And so my total cholesterol was 201 and now it's around 150.
Wow.
Yeah, because you eat
Yeah.
animal products, all animal products contain cholesterol. And so you eat those and your cholesterol level goes up. You get rid of those, the cholesterol levels go down.
Yeah, you just want to keep it in check because you do need a little cholesterol, but you don't want.
Well, the thing is, our bodies make it, so we don't need to consume any, which is great. It's not an essential nutrient. Yeah. So I know you were both, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you were both vegetarian before you became vegan, correct?
Correct.
So what made you decide to give up the dairy?
Same thing as
probably
I'm sorry.
the treatment of the animals.
Yeah.
The way they take the cow, the little baby cow across the barn and because they're trying to get the crying going on so the mother cow can lactate and apparently it works, but it's not, it's just, we don't want to hurt any animal. We don't want to be a part of that.
For me,
Yeah.
For me, when I gave up dairy was mainly because of how I was reading the treatment of the animals. But after giving up dairy, I realized that I felt so much better without it. So I didn't even realize dairy bothered me until I no longer had it.
And when you say better, describe like how were you better?
I just had more energy. I had more clarity. It's actually a lot more clarity.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that consuming dairy contributes to autoimmune conditions. So it will trigger like RA, rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. And, it can cause type 1 diabetes. It's just like every autoimmune condition is triggered by animal products and people are not aware of that. Yeah. And if they stop eating those, if they go vegan and eat good nutrition, then they can get better. But this information is not out there about that.
Yeah. So true.
So have you converted any meat eaters to non-meat eaters?
We have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they stay or not, we don't keep track of them, but we've had a number of people that have gone.
Yeah, they're eating a lot less.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I'm aware of have reduced their animal intake a lot.
That's good. Yeah. Have you had any people try to convince you to eat animal products that weren't vegans?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, they think it's better for our health. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't. I mean, I have had a couple people say, well, you can't get your protein. I says, of course you get your protein. I said, where do you think the animals get it? I said,
Yeah.
look at an elephant, look at a giraffe. I mean, they're not eating meats and they're getting plenty of muscle. They got more than you would ever need in your life. So yeah, we're getting a little heat. I'm not getting much heat from people. They know, I mean, they look at me and realize for my age, I'm in pretty darn good shape. And I think they just know that something's working. Because
Right.
most of the people that I know that eat meat are also overweight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's like, wait, you guys want us to eat like you, but you're the ones who are overweight and you're the ones who are sick and you are the ones
And
who
they're the
are
ones taking medicines.
exactly, they're the ones on medication. Yeah. Yeah. I see you're doing the vampire. That's awesome.
We don't do any, what was I gonna say about, we were just talking about, yeah, we don't worry about what people think of what we're eating. And, you know, we don't care.
Yeah, after what, almost 5 years now, I don't hardly even mention it. You know, we go out to eat wherever and I always find something to eat and it's no issue. It's fine.
So if somebody invited you to, let's say, a barbecue and there was nothing there, what would you do?
Well, they
Well,
almost always have a
well,
salad.
First of all, our problem isn't that we're vegan. That's not the problem. Our problem is that we're 99%, or I would say 95% organic. That's the problem.
That's the hard one to
Yeah,
find.
that's our
organic.
issue.
You go to restaurants, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because if we went to a barbecue, everybody has some form, has a baked potato or lettuce for the burgers or something. That's not an issue.
Yeah,
You know?
most people know that we're vegans.
Yeah, that's good.
Most people.
Yeah, I
that-
know. It's like I don't want to eat pesticides and chemicals and mess up my gut. People
Yeah.
don't understand.
Well,
So,
they're starting to associate that more and more with the Alzheimer's and dementia type diseases.
so mainly when we go to events or whatever that involve foods, I just focus on the gathering, not food.
You focus on what?
On the gathering, the
Yeah, the
person,
people.
not exactly. So
Right.
so whatever they eat. I don't have to participate in it, and if I don't see anything that I'm comfortable with eating, I don't. And I really don't make anybody uncomfortable about it because I'm there for the
Right.
socialize, not to.
I've had so much pushback from people. They would say like, oh, but you know, I like chicken or I like meat, or like if I couldn't have them eat less, and they say, well, you know, my daughter, whomever likes this stuff. So it's like, well, I like brownies, but I don't eat them anymore because the sugar makes my blood sugar go up and I gain weight and I feel terrible. And I love the feeling, but it's like, how long does it take to eat something? It takes a few seconds and then you're miserable the entire time. So it's hard.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think people realize how much an addiction certain foods are. It's because when you think about the fact that you choose not to eat it because you claim you can't stop eating it, to me that's an addiction.
Oh, it is. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting for me that it was flour makes me addicted. So for instance, pretzels have flour in it and I can't stop eating pretzels. Or if I made a dessert with flour,
Yeah.
and what is flour? It's a processed food. It's wheat.
Are you non-gluten?
So I stopped eating gluten, and that helps for sure that helps. But when the more processed something is, the more likely I'm going to overeat it. I'm going to crave it.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, that's a hard thing for me to not eat gluten. I've tried it, and that's where I get my pushback because it's pretty much everywhere.
So is it like breads or like desserts or what?
It's anything with gluten in it. When I'm not eating gluten, that kind of eliminates pretty much eating everything.
No.
There's a lot of people.
Have you tried like gluten-free bread and?
But a lot of places don't have gluten-free bread. A lot of places have some. It's a lot better now. You know, as long as if I'm eating home and without being around people, I can be totally gluten, totally organic, no issues. It's when I get around people, that complicates things.
Yeah, like I know for the Asian restaurants, instead of getting the wheat noodles, like I'll get the rice noodles,
Yeah.
and that's gluten-free. And then for
Pasta? Are you talking about pasta?
pasta, right? And then for Mexican food, instead of the wheat tortilla, I get corn.
Right.
So
And I did do that too with Mexican. I choose very little with Mexican places, but yeah.
yeah, it's pretty hard because it's like, do they cook the beans in lard or,
Well, I've always, Mexican places haven't been one of my fun places because I haven't eaten pork in over 30 years.
Hey, let me ask you something. On the screen here, it has a white block that just blocks your face totally out. And it says this meeting is being recorded by the host or participant. Should I hit where it says, got it? It's in blue.
it got it. Yeah, hopefully it's still recording.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, I didn't want to hit it because I was afraid it might mess the whole thing up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now we can see you.
Can you see me better now?
See all of you now. Yeah, we saw some of you. Yes.
Yeah. So let's see. So what else? Any tips for vegans to help other vegans, to help other non-vegans to go vegan, or?
I'm sorry.
The thing that helped me the most was education. Educate yourself
exactly.
on what you're eating. Because when you start to look into what you're eating and where it's coming from and how it come about, it's actually frightening here in the United States.
And I found turning people on to the different documentaries like Food Inc. and the other ones I mentioned, plus Game Changers was a big one. That I know a couple of my friends that said after they watched that, they quit eating meat. And
that is the movie that me and my husband, after we watched it, he turned to me and he says, we're going vegan. He didn't even ask me. He just says, this is what we're doing. And I was like, I laughed. I was like, yeah, let's do it. But it's, it was because it convinced me that you can be an athlete, you can still gain muscle, you can get stronger and avoid all animal products, and you're healthier. So I thought we had to eat animal products to keep our muscles, because I never, and then I know there were vegan bodybuilders, but I thought that, they were all consuming a lot of plant protein powders, like the vegan protein powders. And then I thought they were all shooting steroids, and definitely a lot of them are, but not all of them. And
yeah, because there was one vegan bodybuilder that I was aware of before the Game Changer movie came out, and he was vegan at birth. Well, he wasn't vegan at birth; he was vegetarian at birth.
Oh.
But as he grew older, he became vegan, and by then he went into bodybuilding. So he did his bodybuilding as a vegan, and so That there showed me that you can have muscle and not eat animals.
Yeah, you asked us who we might, if we changed anybody from being a regular eater and then going into the vegan program. And I have to say that I pushed you. I remember
You did.
you were telling me you have to eat meat to get protein. And you were telling me a few other things. I said, no, you don't. I said, how do you think, and then eventually you surprised me because you didn't at first sound like you were going to change. And all of a sudden, one day I'm talking to you, and you said, well, I'm vegan now. I'm not eating, we watched Game Changers and we're not eating meat again. I thought, well, good for you. So that's good.
Yeah,
I take a
you know,
little credit on your podcast.
I tried it, you know, on and off, on and off. And the thing was why I was doing it wrong. And I didn't have enough recipes and I wasn't eating enough. And so, yeah, there's a way to do it right and there's a way to do it wrong. And so, yeah, I've figured it out, thank goodness. But then I also, in my book, The High Five Diet, you know, one of the biggest challenges for, you know, making the switch was finding good recipes. And there's a lot of recipes
That's
on the internet and in books, but a lot of those contain oils and they have sugar and flour. And so that wiped out like 90% of them. And then the other ones were just like not very good. So what I did is I found recipes and then I fixed them. And so I made them taste better because I want mine to taste, you know, salty and sweet. I want all the wonderful flavors that are in, you know, foods that most people like.
yeah. When I changed cooking, because I do most of the cooking here, but when I changed cooking, when we went vegan, and all of a sudden I realized, hey, wait a minute, I make spaghetti sauce, and when I make it, I used to put the meatballs and the sausage in the sauce and let that flavor get into the sauce itself. I thought,
Yeah.
how am I going to do this now? And same with gravy. I always put like if we were having gravy with the turkey,
Yeah.
back at Thanksgiving's Day, then I would put the meat, parts of the meat into the gravy to add to the flavor. And I thought, man, I'm gonna have a hard time, but actually playing with things and just trying different ways of cooking without the meat. And I got it down, and now I've got a spaghetti sauce that tastes really, really good. And I got a chili verde or green chili that I make, and it's people that eat it, man, they love it. And it's
Yeah, it's you just have to add a lot more spice than people think when you take out the fat. For sure. Yeah, and I remember you saying to me, you don't need that much protein. But the thing is, in the fitness world, it's all about more and more protein. It's all about like you need at least, you know, 1 gram of protein for each pound that you weigh. And so, you know, if I weigh 100 pounds, at the time I weighed 100 pounds, that would be 100 grams of protein, which is more than twice as what I actually need. And the problem with that is most people walk around with a liver function that's around 50%, and it's due to the animal products. All this, it's actually, and what's bad about products is the protein. People don't realize that the protein is what's problematic, and that's what's taxing our liver function, our kidney function, and causing all these autoimmune conditions to flare up too. And then so for me, now that I realize that wasn't, I need to tell people that we consume too much protein. And the animal, and that's one problem, is that's really problematic, is too much protein is unhealthy.
Not good, yeah, exactly.
And then our animal product protein here in the United States is full of pesticides, hormones, antibiotics. It's like, yeah, no wonder we don't have a liver at all trying to process that.
Right. Yeah. And I stopped even consuming vegan protein powder because when I was tabulating my protein, grams of protein, and, you know, one of the apps that I use called Chronometer, then I was eating too much, you know, even with the small amount of food I eat. And then it's like, I don't want to tax my body more than necessary. And that stuff's processed, and the body does not do well with foods that are overly processed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So great. Thank you so much. So I am going to record this, if I did it right, on YouTube. And I'll share it with you. Thanks so much, guys.
Think you're
Thank
gonna be
you.
successful. You look like you do a very good job at podcasting. So good luck to you.
Thank you. Keep in touch.
Keep up the awesome job.
Great. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.